I will say 3, 2, 1, play, and we'll hit our playlists at the same time. Okay? 3, 2, 1, play. So today for our Dharma Talk, I have a new subject for our next few Find Your Center classes. So I'm going to start with a quote by Ram Dass from his book, Be Here Now. When you have quieted your mind enough and transcended your ego enough, you can hear how it really is. So, when you are with a candle flame, you are the candle flame. And when you are with another being's mind, you are the other being's mind. When there is a task to do, you are the task. So our next few Find Your Center topics will be about ways to surrender our ego. So one way to surrender your ego is to reconcile yourself to not always getting your way, which is obviously very hard for a lot of people, myself included. So I have a mantra for us to meditate on today. We're going to use the mantra, I trust and surrender to the universe. And if you would prefer, you can say to God or whatever spiritual bigger than you come identify with the most. So on your inhale, you'll think I trust and surrender, and exhale to the universe. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and come into that comfortable meditative position and begin. Taking 1 or 2 more breaths. And then I'll slowly have you come up to a standing position in the front of your mat. So we'll come all the way up to the top of the mat. We're going to come into Tadasana. Want to make sure that our feet are either all the way together or they're just comfortably apart, no wider than hip distance. On an inhale, we're going to roll down, rolling those shoulders forward, vertebrae by vertebrae, just lowering down. Don't go the whole way down. Just go to where you're comfortable. And then on your next inhale, we'll rise back up. Coming up and down with that Ujjayi breath. Exhale, folding forward. Nice, loud ocean breath. Back up on your inhale. And we'll roll down and then back up once more. And then when you reach standing position, we'll come into a relaxed Tadasana. We'll still have the shoulder blades pulled in, drawn down along the spine, but we'll let the arms be relaxed and allow the fingers to curl, almost as though you're in your Shavasana corpse pose, just for a moment. Now we're going to take our Tadasana and make it a bit stronger. Open the palms, flexing the fingers. Give the knees a slight bend, allowing the tailbone to kind of curve under just a little bit. Neck is elongated, crown of the head is drawn upwards. Grounding down into the mat with all four corners of the feet. That's the inside of the big toe, outside of the pinky, inside and outside of the heel. You should almost be able to lift the toes up off of the mat and still have all of your balance. So from this nice, strong Tadasana position, we're going to inhale the arms overhead. We're going to bring the palms together and we're going to interlock the fingers, possibly pointing that middle finger up for a Kali Mudra, or you can just keep the fingers all the way interlocked. Exhale, and then inhale, taking a nice back bend. On your next inhale, we're going to come back to standing and rotate your wrists so that your palms are still interlocked but facing upwards. Reaching the palms as high as they will go, maybe even lifting those shoulders up to your ears and then pulling the shoulders back down. Bring the shoulders up to the ears and then bring those shoulders back down. On your next exhale, we're going to take a side bend to the left. Keeping those fingers interlaced, gaze comes overhead. On an inhale, we'll come back overhead. Exhale, opposite side. On your next inhale, we'll bring the arms overhead. Exhale, release your arms out nice and wide. We're going to clasp them behind our back the way that feels more awkward. Okay, you're probably just clasping them the way that felt more natural. So now we're going for that awkward clasp. Roll the shoulders back. And when you're ready, on an exhale, we will fold forward, allowing the arms to fall forward. Let's go ahead and bend the knees, bringing your chest down to your thighs, letting your arms be heavy, your wrists be heavy. On your next inhale, we're slowly going to rise up. And then we'll release the hands back to Tadasana. On your next inhale, we're going to bring the arms both overhead, and we're going to take a side bend to the left, and then come right back up. Exhale, side bend to the right, arms are parallel, come right back up. We're going to do that same thing again. Inhale up, exhale, side bend. Inhale up, one last time. This time, when you bring those arms overhead, we're going to take a spinal twist to the left, opening the arms nice and wide. Inhale, bringing those arms back up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, spinal twist, arms nice and wide. We're going to go ahead and do that 2 more times. Just kind of twisting from side to side as we stretch the arms nice and wide. As you open out towards the right again, we'll bring those arms overhead. Exhale, bringing your hands actually down to your waist. So we're going to put our hands on our waist And we're going to fold forward just halfway. So from here, I want you to elongate your spine, reach the crown of the head forward. We're going to go ahead and rise back up to a standing position with a flat back. And we're keeping our hands on our hips just to kind of support that flat back. So on an inhale, we come up with our flat back. Exhale, forward fold, just halfway again. Nice and slow. Reach halfway and then inhale right back up. If you would like, you can bring the arms overhead as we do that again. Keeping that nice flat back. Inhaling right back up. One more time. Inhaling right back up to standing. Exhale, arms fold or open wide. Exhale, forward fold. Here we're going to take a really active forward fold. So we're going to fold all the way down, imagining that we're a piece of paper that's been folded down the middle, being pushed together from that crease. Hands can reach wherever they reach. If they're at your ankles, your shins, or hanging out on the floor, whatever is comfortable for your hands. Let your head be heavy. On your next inhale, we'll bring the hands to the shins and come up halfway, bending the knees slightly. On your next inhale, we're going to do some cat and cows here. So inhale, tailbone comes up, back drops down, head comes up. Exhale, opposite. Tailbone rounds under, back rounds up, head drops down. Keeping those knees bent as we flow through. And if it helps you to kind of move your hands around on your legs between the positions, that's fine. One more full breath. Exhale, folding forward once more. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we come all the way to standing. Arms come overhead. Slight back bend as the palms come together. Exhale, exhale, hands to heart center. Inhaling the arms overhead, slight back bend. Exhale, arms come wide, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And as we come up here on our inhale, sweep the arms forward and come up with that flat back. Take that slight back bend. Exhale, hands come to heart center. And here we set our intention to learn how to surrender our ego and be fine with not always having our way. Just taking another full breath here. On your next inhale, we're going to bring the arms overhead, separating the palms, pulling the shoulders down, taking a big step back with the left leg. So making sure that the back heel is on the ground, toes in the front, pointing straight forward, warrior one. On your next exhale, we're going to open up to warrior two, keeping the gaze over that front arm. Next inhale, we're going to tilt back for our peaceful warrior, really stretching that arm back to feel the stretch in that front hip. Come back to your warrior two, and then turn the torso again, warrior one. Go ahead and do that again. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, tilting back, peaceful warrior, stretching that front hip. Coming back to our warrior two. Inhale to warrior one. And we'll do that one more time. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale to warrior one. We're going to tilt the torso, reach those arms forward, turn the back foot, and then take a big step forward, coming into our Urdhva Hastasana. Going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So we'll take that big step back with the right foot, planting the heel into the floor, making sure that the back pinky toe is grounding down into the mat, facing forward for warrior one. On your next exhale, we'll turn the torso, bring the arms down for warrior two, gazes over that front arm. On your next inhale, we're going to tilt the torso back, getting that big stretch in the front hip. Peaceful warrior. And exhale, back to warrior two. And then we turn the torso, bring the arms back overhead, warrior one. So we'll go ahead and do that flow 2 more times. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, warrior one. Really feeling the torso move as you flow through these. One more time. And as you reach that last warrior one, we're going to reach the arms forward, come up onto the back toes, big step forward, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center. From here, we're going to take a big step back with the left leg again. Spin that heel down for our warrior. Hands are at heart center. We're going to go ahead and bring them back behind us. Clasp with the left hand, left thumb on top. Roll the shoulders back. Fold forward on your exhale, devotional warrior. One more nice big full breath. Inhaling, we come all the way back up. Warrior one as the arms separate. Lean forward, come onto the back toes. Take that big step forward. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll take that big step back once more. Right foot. Spin the heel down. Nice and tall. Bringing the arms back. This time the right thumb will be on top. Roll the shoulders back. Exhale, forward fold. On your next inhale, we release the hands and bring them overhead. Warrior one. Torso comes down, arms reach forward, back foot steps forward. Exhale, hands will come to heart center, and we're going to take a medium-sized step back with the left leg. Setting up our feet for our pyramid pose. Hips are going to be squared forward. So you can keep the hands at heart center here. You can bring them to the waist, or you can bring them all the way overhead. We're going to be doing some of those flat back lifts that we did earlier. On your exhale, we're going to just fold down, inhaling right back up. Exhale, fold down just halfway, and then right back up. We're going to do 2 more. Keeping the hips squared forwards. Next time we're going to go down and we're just going to hold our pyramid for a few breaths. Hold that extended pyramid. Go ahead and try bringing the arms long if they're not already long overhead. Keeping those arms forward, we're going to press forward onto that front leg, lifting that back leg for warrior three. Toe is pointed down. And exhale everything down to the mat. coming into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Coming all the way back up. You can round the back this time. Arms will come all the way overhead, palms together, slight back bend. Exhale, hands to heart center. And then we'll take that step back, medium step back with the right foot. Squaring the hips forward. Again, you have those 3 arm options, hands at the waist, hands at heart center, or arms overhead. On your next exhale, we'll fold forward just halfway, and then inhale right back up. One more fall and then rise. And the next time we fold forward, we're going to stay there. Possibly bringing the arms overhead if they're not already there. And then when you're ready, we're going to begin pushing our hips forward, lifting that back leg up for warrior 3. And on your next exhale, we'll bring everything down to the mat, taking that forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. We'll rise up with that rounded back. Arms will come overhead, palms will meet. Exhale, hands to heart center. Taking just a few breaths here. We're going to go ahead and bring the arms out to the sides. We're going to begin lifting our left leg out to the side as well. And just begin tilting over into that tilted star. So we're allowing the arms to come, still they're staying on a fingertip to fingertip long line, but they're kind of on a diagonal to the floor. And come back to that standing position. Inhaling the arms out to the sides, and go ahead and take the other leg out. Tilted star. And exhale back down into our Tadasana. Taking any movements here that feel good. Rolling the shoulders, maybe rolling the wrists, kind of giving your ankles a little bit of rolling around as well. On an inhale, we'll bring the arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center, and begin sinking down into our chair pose, Utkatasana. Go ahead and draw your feet together. If they're not already together, you want to feel as though you can begin pressing the thighs towards each other. On your next inhale, you're going to turn to the left, bringing the elbow to the knee, hooking it around the knee. Gaze comes overhead. Just going to hold this for a moment. And on your next inhale, we're going to come back to center, just holding it, keeping that tailbone with that slight tuck. On your next inhale, we're going to twist to the right, hooking that elbow to the other side of the knee. Sneak a peek down at your knees, making sure they're both still pointing forward. And then go ahead and try to bring your gaze back up towards the ceiling. On your next inhale, we'll come back to center. On your next exhale, we're going to come up into Tadasana. Inhaling the arms overhead. We're going to go ahead and take the left arm back down. We're going to shift our balance to our right leg, lifting that left leg, grabbing the foot. If you'd like, you can stay right here, maybe even really pressing your heel into your bottom to really increase the stretch in that quad. Or you can roll the shoulder back and begin lifting the foot, tilting forward into a dancer pose. Go ahead and release that back foot, just seeing if you can hold it up without the use of your hand. And bring everything back in, Pranamasana, hands at heart center. Taking a breath. On your next inhale, we're going to bring the arms overhead. Exhale that right arm down and the right foot up. Again, you have those options, pressing the the heel into the bottom, or rolling the shoulders back, pushing the hand back with the foot as you tilt forward into dancer. And now slowly release your foot, seeing if you can hold your foot up close to your hand. And everything comes back into Pranamasana, hands at heart center. On your next inhale, we're going to bring the arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to take a big step back with our left leg, coming into a runner's lunge. So we're up on the back toes. On your next inhale, we're going to sweep the arms up overhead. High lunge. Exhale, right back down to low lunge, sweeping the arms back. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, sweeping down, arms pass through low lunge, sweeping up again. One more sweep, and then we're going to take a triangle. So go ahead and open the arms, spin that back heel down, coming into a warrior two, straighten that front leg, begin sliding the torso forward, tilting into our triangle here. Taking nice long breaths. Exhale that arm down, bring the hands to the mat, take a step forward, forward fold. Right foot steps back for our low lunge, And on your next inhale, we're going to sweep those arms up to high lunge. And then exhale down, sweeping them through low lunge. Inhale the arms up, high lunge. We're going to do this 2 more times. Last time we come up into our high lunge, spinning that back heel down, coming into warrior two, straighten the front leg, slide forward, and then exhale as you tilt down to triangle pose. Exhale that hand down. We're going to turn that back foot and take a step forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling all the way back up with that rounded back. Arms will come all the way overhead, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart center. So we're going to go ahead and shift our balance to our right leg. We're going to begin lifting that left leg up for tree, seeing how high you bring it without using your hand. And then go ahead and use your hand and bring it up the rest of the way if you would like to bring it up the whole way. Wanting to feel as though we are pressing that inner corners of the foot into the ground, pressing our thigh or whatever part of our standing leg into our foot, and that foot into the thigh. We're going to go ahead and begin releasing that foot down. And then we're going to send it back as you forward fold, bringing your hands down to the floor. Begin rotating that left hip upwards as you float that left arm up for a half moon here. If possible, bring your gaze out to the side. You want to try to feel as though you're keeping a straight line from your fingertips. Fingertip all the way to fingertip. Toes are pointed out to the side. And exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling all the way up with that rounded back. Palms come together. Slight back bend. Exhale, palms to heart center. We're going to go ahead and try to shift our weight to our left foot. Lift that right foot up as high as you can. And then use the hand to bring it up to the sacral area, or you can bring it back down to the calf or the ankle. Holding on to our tree. Grounding down through that center line of that supporting leg. And we're going to begin releasing that foot back as we fold forward. Foot is flexed as we begin rotating the hip upward. And then we begin to float that right arm up as well. Half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. One more breath. And exhale everything down. Forward fold. We're going to begin bending our knees until we can bring our hands down to the mat. Begin walking the feet back. We're going to come into a tabletop here. If you're not quite in the center of your mat, go ahead and kind of come to the center of your mat. We don't want to be too far forward. So we're going to go ahead and do some cat-cow breaths here, but I'd like you to try something a little bit different. We're going to open the knees up a little past hip distance. We're going to open our hands up a little past shoulder distance, okay? So we're just going to see how this feels in our body. So on your next inhale, we'll take the normal cow where we bring the tailbone up, drop the belly down, head comes up. Exhale, opposite. Tailbone rounds under, back rounds up, head drops down. Go ahead and try that a couple more times. If you're going through this and you're like, no, this widened stance isn't for me, that's okay. Go ahead and come into the usual stance with your knees below the hips and hands below the shoulders. Next time you find yourself coming through a neutral back, we're going to go ahead and come down to the forearms. And we want the forearms to be below the shoulders. We're going to tuck the toes under, and we're going to bring the knees back into that usual alignment with the knees below the hips. And then the feet are directly in line with the knees. Tucking the toes under, we're going to lift the hips up, coming into a dolphin pose. If you'd like, you can walk the feet a little bit closer. For another challenge, you can lift up onto the tippy toes like you're wearing point shoes for a ballerina. And and bring the feet back down to the balls of the feet. Begin walking the feet back, coming down to that dolphin forearm pose once more. We're going to we're going to go ahead and do, that's what I was trying to say, those cat-cow breaths here as well. We're just kind of playing with variations on cat-cow for a little bit. So on your inhale, tilt that tailbone up, head, belly drops down, head comes up, and then exhale the opposite. Inhaling, exhaling. And the next time you find yourself exhaling, we're going to try rabbit pose. So we're going to go ahead and keep that head down between the elbows. Walk the knees in just a little bit more and allow the head to actually rest on the mat. Then we're going to take the arms and reach them for the feet on the outside of the legs. I realize this is called rabbit, but it reminds me of an ostrich burying its head in the sand. Just trying to relax here, opening up across the shoulders, but feeling how much muscle you're using just to maintain your balance in your legs and in your core. We're going to go ahead and bring the hands forward once more, lifting up the torso. Coming into kind of a tabletop here. We're going to bring the hands towards the front of the mat. We're going to step the left leg back, coming up onto the toes. Step the right leg back up onto the toes. Press back into downward facing dog. Taking any movements here that feel good. And just like we did in that tabletop position, we're going to play a little bit with some down dog movement here with our hands and feet wider than usual. So we're going to go ahead and take a little step out with each foot and then shimmy each hand out just a little bit more. So your feet are a little bit wider than hip distance, hands are a little bit wider than shoulder distance, and then press back into down dog. And if you're like, no, thank you, this does not feel good on my shoulders, go ahead and bring them right back in. For me, I like my hands to be a shoulder distance apart, but feet wider than shoulder distance feels pretty good. So again, taking any movements here that feel good. On your next inhale, we're going to roll through to plank. Exhale right back to down dog. Inhale through to plank. Exhale back to downward facing dog. One more roll through to plank. We're going to drop to the knees, chin and chest come to the mat as the tailbone pushes up. Ashtanga. Bring everything down to the mat, pressing up into a cobra. Tuck the toes under, press up through plank, and then push back to downward facing dog. We'll do that vinyasa once more. So we roll through to plank, drop to the knees, chin and chest to the mat, inhale up to cobra, exhale back down, pressing up into downward facing dog. Go ahead and step the feet back to that normal position if they're not already there. You're going to lift the left leg up nice and high. Knee comes to the chest, holding it right here, Vajragasana. And send it back, three-legged dog. Once more forward into Vajragasana. And send it back, three-legged dog. Bring it down. You do that same thing on the other side. Bring it up. Inhaling nice and slow, forward to Vajragasana. Send it back for three-legged dog. And then forward for Vajragasana. Back again. Three-legged dog. Bring it down. Going to go ahead and drop to the knees and then begin lowering the belly down to the mat. Coming all the way down. We're going to come into a sphinx here, bringing our forearms to the mat. Pressing the palms into the mat. Elongating the spine, lifting the crown of the head upwards. From here, we're going to take our left arm, reach it back for our left foot. If you feel like you could bring your foot closer to your bottom, slide your forearm along your foot. We still want your foot to be in line with your body and not way out to the side. So go ahead and sneak a peek back, making sure that your heel is still an approximation with your sits bone. And release that foot. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we bring that foot towards the bottom, reach back. And again, if you feel like you have a little bit more flexibility to work with here, you can slide the foot into the forearm to the elbow, reaching the hand down along the shin. And release. We're going to bring the hands down underneath the chest, tucking the toes underneath. We're going to press up into a knee plank. Just holding this plank here at the knees for just a moment, keeping the toes tucked underneath. Sink back, keeping the hands and the feet in place for extended child's pose. On your next inhale, we're going to go ahead and bring the torso forward, coming back into that modified plank. From here, we're going to begin lifting our left arm to turn onto our right knee, coming up into a side plank. If you would like, you can bring that inner leg back, foot forward, coming into a full side plank. Gaze is overhead. And go ahead and come back down into that modified plank. Keeping those toes tucked under. Sink the hips back. Extended child's pose. And on your next inhale, we'll round the back forward, coming into that knees plank, and then slowly begin lifting the right arm as we turn into a side plank here. Again, you have that option to lift the leg and come into that full side plank. And exhale that arm down, drop to those knees. We're going to walk the knees forward. Coming into a hero pose towards the top of the mat. On an inhale, we're going to bring the arms overhead. Exhale, taking the left arm back towards the foot, we're going to grab the toes of the left foot. And from here, we're going to begin lifting the hips up into a half camel. And go ahead and bring those hips down nice and slow. Do the same thing on the opposite side. So we grab our right toes with our right foot. And as we inhale, we bring the arm up, hips come up, half camel. And exhale down to our hero. So we're just going to rotate from side to side. Doing that, we're not going to fully grab the toes this time. It's more of a sweeping action. So on your next inhale, we'll sweep the right arm up as we come into our half camel. Exhale, back down. Left arm sweeps up, half camel, and back down. We'll go ahead and do that just a few more times. One more time on each side. And back down to the center. So from here, we're going to lift our body forward, come to our hands, cross our feet in the back in that tabletop, and then push back, coming onto our bottom. And we're going to bring our feet out in front of us. We're going to come into some variations of a boat pose here. So we're going to go ahead and first sit up nice and tall. And we're going to bring our knees to our chest. Going to bring our hands underneath our thighs and try to sit up nice and tall, keeping our chest to the thighs, drawing in, keeping the feet up. From here, we're going to go ahead and lift one leg, straighten it, and then bring it back down. Toes are pointed now. So we're going to bring the other leg up, straighten that leg, and bring it back down. If that's just a bit much for you, you can come down onto the forearms as you straighten one leg and bring the other one down. Still want to try to draw these legs together as close as you can. So once more on each side. And back down. We're going to go ahead and lower the back down to the earth. We're going to bring the feet long on the mat. Bringing the arms long overhead. We're going to begin lifting the head and the shoulders up off of the mat and slowly lift one leg at a time. Exhale up, inhaling down. One leg up and down, other leg up and down. One more set on each side. And bring it back down. From here, we're going to nice and slowly bring our arms forward over our thighs. Roll all the way up. And then exhale right back down. We're going to do this 2 more times. I think there's one more time left. So we'll do that one more time. Coming all the way down onto our back. We're going to try a version of supine pigeon. We're going to go ahead and bring our right foot to the mat, bring our left foot so that our ankle crosses our right knee. So from here, we have a few options. You can lift that right foot up off of the mat, reach through and grab that right foot to bring it closer. Or you can do what would be the opposite if we were doing pigeon on our bellies. So we can go ahead and bring that foot, we can extend the right leg on the ground or bring the right foot left foot all the way up using our hands. You can possibly even cradle the leg with your arms, bringing the foot to the elbow. Trying to still keep some engagement in that right leg that's on the mat. from here, we're going to straighten that left leg all the way up, holding on to it with the right arm. If you're we're doing that with the left leg. Right leg is extended long on the ground. So we're going to go ahead and begin lowering the left leg over the right side of our body, allowing it to cross over. And begin bringing the left arm out to the left side. Gaze is going to follow that left arm. Peace pose. On your next inhale, we're going to roll back to the center, keeping that knee in. And we're just going to hug that knee in a bit. Feeling the difference between keeping the knee right above the chest or maybe opening the knee out to the side, bringing the knee closer to the armpit. Maybe take some ankle rolls here with that left foot. And then we're going to slowly bring that foot down to the mat, keeping the knee bent towards the sky. As we lift the right leg up, ankle comes to that left knee. So you can stay right here for that pigeon pose. You can lift that left foot off the floor and grab the left knee, or you can extend that left knee on the ground and bring the right knee in closer using your hands, possibly wrapping around your foot with putting your foot in your elbow and cradling it. And then we're going to begin straightening that leg. We're going to hold on to that leg with our left hand. And we're going to lower the leg down over the left side of our body, bringing the right hand out to the right side. Gaze will follow that right hand. And then when you're ready, we're going to roll back to center, bringing that knee into the chest, hugging it in. And again, you have that option to see how it feels, keeping that knee right over the chest or letting it come out to the side towards your armpit a little bit more. And maybe take those ankle rolls with the right ankle. And then nice and slow, we'll bring that leg down to the mat. We're going to go ahead and move into Shavasana here. So find yourself a nice, comfortable position. where you can relax your mind. If you like, you can come back to that mantra from the beginning of class. I trust and surrender to the universe. We'll just take a few moments to be with our breath. When you're ready, make your way onto your right side. Deepen the breath. Make any movements that bring your awareness back to your here and now. And then roll onto the right side. And then still possibly keeping your eyes closed. Come up to a comfortable seated position and we'll just take a few more breaths together. And then slowly blink your eyes open. Thank you so much for being with me and breathing with me today. Om Shanti Shanti. Peace be with you.